sitt. Dekk. Och nej, sitt.
Du
Däck.
har filmen går.
Ja, men jag får ju bara han till. Okej. Sorry. Now, Helmer, he got up again. Hi everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts Arne and Carlos, and I think you can see Helmer's tail wagging here in the background as well.
Yeah, and there's no candles for him. So.
And today we are going to do a video where we're going to talk about parallel stripes.
Yeah.
And we've got a lovely little design here, Arne.
Yes, we're working on this one, and I don't remember where this inspiration came from. Maybe it was one of the stave churches we visited.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Or
but
it could be a Selbu rose, maybe,
could be.
8-pointed. No, not really.
No, not really. But the thing about this one is that it has parallel lines in the mitten. And we've seen there's a lot of problems when people knit parallel lines because sometimes it looks like it's black with white stripes or white with black stripes because the tension is a bit off. So we're going to show you how we do it when we do parallel lines.
Yeah. We've got a Velcro dog here. He just does not want to leave me alone.
No.
And I think Helmer... Okay.
Okay, so watch me. Where's my needle? Did you take my needle? No, there it is. Too many needles. So what we do when we do parallel lines is that we alternate. Is that the word?
Yeah.
The yarn that we pick from the finger. Because if we constantly throw the white one in from this side and we pick the brown like this, after a while the tension will be uneven when you do it like this. So what we do is that we are actually changing every now and then, because that's the easiest way to control tension when you do parallel lines. So never keep one yarn on one side and the other on the other side, because then your tension will be off. So it's better to change direction every now and then. So like this. So pick one color and throw the other in. And pick. And throw. Like this.
Looking good.
And it doesn't matter which yarn you pick or which yarn you throw, as long as you alternate the yarns. So now when I start on this one, I do white from the finger and I throw this one in. So that's how we try to get the tension as even as possible.
Yeah. But you do have, I do have to comment on it, because you do have two lines of the brown and one line of the white only.
Yeah.
So,
but it can still be different. Because if you pull too much, one will be bigger than the other. And even if it seems a little bit like uneven, when you stretch it like this, normally they pop in place. And also when you block it with hot towel, hot iron and a wet towel, you flatten them out and then it looks perfect normally.
Yeah.
And this yarn is from our Norwegian yarn with Rowan.
Yep.
And there's another thing we want to say about these mittens, because they have this cuff. I think it's called vekk.
Yeah.
In Norwegian. It's like a cuff.
Yeah, we're calling it a cuff. It's an old-fashioned kind of way to do a knitten.
A mitten.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also have a vekk on this one. This is a redesign of some old Selbu pattern. And when we do this vekk, it's almost impossible to do different sizes, because you can't take away one report.
Yeah.
Then it gets so tight. And the same with this one, you can't actually take away too much of this one. So what we do when we knit with the Norwegian yarn is that we change the needle.
Yeah.
So from one pattern you can actually have 3 different sizes, depends on your tension. So like this one is knitted on needle 3.5, so 3 for the rib and 3.5 for the mitten, and this is 2.5 for the rib and 3 for the mitten, and you can see the difference. So you get 2 different sizes from the same pattern based
Yeah.
on the needle you pick.
And as you were saying, because it's so difficult to get the right size or to make a smaller size of the
Yeah,
cuff.
because you change
Yeah.
the pattern.
But it then actually makes sense with tradition, because if you look back to this kind of designs from the past, like especially the Selbo mitten, which is world famous, the cuff knitted this way would have been a very typical men's size, and a woman's size would have had a cuff maybe knitted either in ribbing or in lace.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that that you wouldn't be able to change from one to the other, because it's quite difficult to change the design, and therefore they developed different styles for men and women. Although nowadays everything's unisex, so
It doesn't matter anymore.
Just choose smaller needles
Yeah.
and you'll be fine.
And I also know, like a lot of patterns, there's only one size, or sometimes there are a men's size or a women's size. But if you look at old patterns, there's almost every time there is one size. And if your tension is very off, you can have a huge mitten. So it's actually very important that you actually check your tension and try and see what needle is best for you and the size you want.
Yeah, as
And
always.
of course, if it's wrong, unravel.
Yeah, and as always, knit a gauge swatch before you start your mitten. The gauge swatch, the only reason you're knitting that is to find out how your tension is and whether you need to go up a size in your needles or down a size. If you're a really tight knitter like me, usually I have to go down a size.
And you don't have to steam or block the...
Sorry, I mean I have to go up a size.
You have
'cause
to
I'm
go
so
up a
tight.
size.
Yeah.
But you don't have to steam or block the swatch, because you can try and see what happens. But normally, if you use the iron and the wet towel, it just gets softer and flat. It doesn't give more or less.
No.
It doesn't give you more stitches. So
And again, the point of the gauge swatch is to determine, what you should do, what your tension is like.
yeah.
So
And if you want to go crazy, you can have one of each.
yeah.
And you're making the small one now.
Yeah, I'm making the
This one.
smaller sized one. I think that I knitted an extra row, so I'm gonna have to frog it a little bit, because
No one will see.
I went an extra row on the ribbing, but it's okay. Yeah, and these mittens are kind of, as Arne was saying, they're a redesign, or at least the first
This
ones.
one is redesigned, and this is
Yeah.
something we made.
Yeah, and
based
this
on
is-
something we saw. I think it's from the Stave Church. I don't remember.
And this is a redesign from Annika Siebenburn's book.
Yeah.
So they're actually quite old.
These are
this is an
very
old
old.
style mitten. And if you're interested, you can get the patterns for the mittens at arnecardos.com. And you can also get the yarn at arnecardos.com. So just go to arnecardos.com and you can select things from the menu to purchase your yarn or to get patterns for the mittens.
And the good thing with the Norwegian yarn is that you can use different needles.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, that plus it's such a lovely yarn. It's easy to knit color work with. It's nice and bouncy. It's actually very light and airy.
Yeah.
So if you want to succeed with color work, one of the most important things you have to consider is the choice of yarn. And for color work, the more wool, the better.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
And remember,
it.
when you do your parallel stripes, don't block the yarn on one on each side, because then your tension will be strange.
Yeah.
So remember, alternate.
So as always, knitting color work is all about tension, and that is what you need to focus on when you do designs where you're using more than one color of yarn.
Yeah.
So Arne, this was a great tutorial, lots of good tips. And as
so.
always, Norwegians try to do, as much as they can to get all the stitches even. And there's a lot of tricks and a lot of hacks for that. And just come to our channel if you want to learn more about color work and about how to keep tension and how to do different things in order to avoid one stitch being bigger than the other.
I read the comment, Carlos. Someone wrote that they were so happy we did things the old-fashioned way with no extra, what you call it? Extra hacks.
Oh, no.
What you call it?
Oh, with
No extra.
say it in Norwegian.
Ingen extra. Hva heter det på norsk? Da?
Okay, you can't say it in Norwegian either.
Jeg var ikke noe slik fjas.
Oh, okay. Oh, some people appreciated that we just do things very straightforward and simplify
Yeah,
them,
old-fashioned and
And-
straightforward, and no extra.
and not too much embellishment.
No.
Yeah, I mean, less is. I mean,
I think that's. I was happy when I saw
yeah,
that.
I think if I would describe you, I'd say Arne is more. I mean, you are a hoarder. But when it comes to your knitting techniques and your knitting, I think you are a minimalist. So less is more. The less you
I
do.
learned from the old
Yeah.
ladies in my family, and
Exactly.
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they did, and I mean, I guess the less you do, the less things to complicate. You don't want to overthink it, and you don't want to overcomplicate it. You just want to do it. And remember, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. It's really easy once you know how to do it. So just get in there, get your needles, get your yarn, get your projects going, and just do it. Yeah. And the more you practice, the easier it's going to get. At one point, you're going to say, "Oh yeah, this is so easy because I learned how to do it, and now I know how to do it." So Arne,
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's pretty much it. How about some formalities?
Oh, if you like our videos, put your thumbs up, and remember to put on the notifications if you're a subscriber. If not, be a subscriber, because then you won't miss episode and you can have some good offers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Join the mailing list.
And the mailing list.
Because there's lots of information there that you will be the first to get if you're on the mailing list. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again very soon with a new episode. Bye.